Revelation 12 says the great has fallen.
And that's what we're experiencing now in the United States.
No, we're about to watch it. We're going to watch, Dave, this year, that 2,500 year prophecy, that statue falls. We are going to see that statue go down.
We'll see it this year, you're saying?
Yes, in the next possibly 60 days, before the end of June, possibly.
Holy cow. So yeah, because you said you gave a time point of May 14th to June 21st. What do you see happening between now and May 14th and June 21st?
So I'm not a prophet, but I hear things, I write things down, I listen to some of his other prophets and see if it makes sense to what I'm seeing.
Hold on, let me ask you this just to clarify. So right now, between May 14th and June 21st, we're going to see the destroying of the old guard. Basically, people are going to get scared because the economy is going to be crashing. Things are going to be going south. People are going to be freaking out. But really, it's meant to happen. It has to happen this way. It's the destroying of the old system.
Babylon. Babylon. It's the fall.
And in order for us to rebuild, this has to be done and put away with.
Correct. You said it perfectly, David. That's exactly it. Because the old cannot stand in a God's kingdom. No one knows the events. Or the event that's about to happen, because it's a secret.
So an event is going to happen between May 14th and June 21st.
It's supposed to, yes. And the furthest you can drag this out to be would be the
but
end.
It will seem, hold on, but it'll seem like a bad event, right? It'll seem like something that's just.
Well, it'll be this. Okay, so a biblical event would be massive earthquakes going off across the world, volcanoes popping off everywhere. So it's going to be something that man cannot do. When it happens, it's going to be crystal clear that there's a God. The news stations will be forced to report, and things like this do not happen.
So we're going to be looking for some kind of event between now and June 21st.
Yes,
biblical.
Yeah. And so because we're in the year of the Lord's favor, right? So the year of the Lord's favor began on Rosh Hashanah, which was not January 1st. God's calendar starts on Rosh Hashanah, which is September 6th. So it changes every year, but last year it was September 6th. And so September 6th started the new year, God's new year.
Okay.
So the day of the Lord's vengeance, based on my understanding of the light concept, the day with the most amount of light would be June 21. So in my heart, I believe we're going to see the day of the Lord's vengeance between today and June 21.
People will hold your feet to the fire for predictions,
Yeah, no, I know. And so the furthest, that's why I want to extend this. Now I want to say, if it doesn't happen by June 21, it will happen in this year, This year ends on September 21 because that's the end of God's year. We just started July 2 days ago. We're here. We're in July 2 days. We're in strange July. We're about to see crazy stuff.
So what do you think is going to happen in July? Let's just pick it out of the hat. What do you think could happen in July?
Well,
I know it's not a prediction. I know we're not predicting anything. Well, just what do you think?
I would say July into August, we're going to see the death of the dollar. So the dollar is going to take a haircut, maybe a 30% haircut. That's going to break the financial system. That's going to then lead to a short-lived military conflict until that 24-hour window occurs, until the intervention of God, until God intervenes. Nothing will change in this world. It must be an event that the world will be saying there must be a God. So we're seeing the financial collapse. And then when the lights come back on, well, that's the birth of the new era. It's so important to go out, make sure you have extra stores of water. Make sure you have extra stores of food, okay? Because something's about to go down. And it's supposed to start this month, potentially right around the 24th, that Monday. We could have a Black Monday, the 24th. And then that's going to trigger, whether it's that day, whether the weekend, it doesn't matter, but it's right around this time point it's because no one knows exactly the day this is going to go down, because I've said on your show, when God intervenes, it's a secret. I mean, the day is a secret. But we know we're here. We'll see a prophetic word of Ken Christmas basically just laying it out of how the angel of death is going to show up this year before year end to literally destroy and take out and finish these and many more.
Oh, yeah.
The prophetic word is, I do not believe they will be here by year end.
So you don't think they'll be here by Christmas? That's going to be everyone's Christmas present.
And what did Kim Clement say? And Winter says, I will make you happy, says the Lord.
I'm joined once again with Bo Polny. A lot of people are saying your predictions came to a bust, Bo. I'm getting a lot of emails. A lot of people are upset.
you're going to have your chance to state your case here, brother. So I'm going to give you that. I'm just saying, Bo, I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying what the audience is saying, all right?
That's fine. What's written on the poster behind me? The analyst of what? Time.
The analyst of time. Okay. I know
Now,
some events have happened, but I don't think they were the ones you were predicting.
That's right, because I don't analyze events, I predict time.
This is the fall of a 2,500 year prophecy.
What if it doesn't? My audience is going to be on you for that.
Let him be. Let him be. God the Father has shown me things that I know are about to come to pass. All I'm saying is by the end of this year,
You're saying it begins the 24th of October.
Well, no, it already started with the class.
Yeah, it has started. You're right, but October 24th is what?
Going to be. No, we should be able to see it on the 24th in the physical. Something crazy starting to happen.
I'm not a prophet. God's shown me the ability to calculate timelines. So I calculate timelines.
But didn't you predict markets would crash from 10/24 to 11/11, massive fail for the markets? I mean,
right. And you
did say that.
Yeah, I did say that too. But that was a possibility. That could have happened, but it hasn't yet. So if people want perfection, they should definitely go find God, because I am not God. I'm not a prophet, but what God's anointed me to do is to calculate his time from a biblical perspective. In our last interview, I said the transition point where things are going to start and evil is going to completely start to lose control is from the week of the 25th of June onwards. The summer solstice was the 21st. On the 22nd, Joe Biden was finally linked to China with that text that came out.
You're saying that happened right after the summer solstice?
It happened on June 22nd.
But I thought we were supposed to see disease, like die-offs, massive die-offs, and then God was going to come in and right every wrong, and then we're going to be in victory right now. I thought that's what was supposed to happen right now. I thought there was supposed to be a massive die-off. That's what you said on my show.
Yeah, no, and I will attest that. Again, my thoughts were that the angel of death could show up as that time window of the 1,260 days comes to at the end of June. Okay, but it didn't. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. That just means it didn't happen at the end of June. Now we're going to talk about today about why it's still going to happen and why it's going to happen this year, because we did say in our last interview, we're going to have evil come to an end, full-on exposure. Everything shifts in the year 2023 this year. And the pivotal turning point.
You're still banking on, you're saying this year.
Oh yeah,
this year,
absolutely.
It's going to be, but are you saying it's going to be over? We win, hip hip hooray.
Okay, so let me give you the example on what you're asking. Okay, when the boogeyman came on scene, you can edit from this point. When the boogeyman came on scene in January of 2020, think about this, right? So the first confirmed case of the boogeyman was on January 12th of 2020. However, the world's like, it was a nothing burger at the time, or was it? You see what I'm saying? But not only that, but then, so you have January, February, March. By the time March hit, the stock market collapsed 38%. A month later, the oil in April, oil went to zero, or negative $38 a barrel, all after the turning point. You see what I'm saying? So January of 2020 was a massive worldwide turning point. That turning point is at an end as of the end of June, period. And it was marked with the text that came out that linked the current jackal in office to his son, therefore into China and the business dealings.
Today is the 14th. Something is about to shift right here. The 14th of January on the Julian calendar is New Year's Day. We're sitting in New Year's Day. The rain is going to start now, which means the glory. When I say rain, it means the opposite. The glory now is going to begin to fill the earth for the next 40 days. At the end of 40 days, we're at February 23rd, 24th. On the Julian, it's February 10th. 150 days from today, Trump's 80th birthday. 2 weeks after that is the 4th of July, which will mark the greatest celebration in human history, America's 250th birthday. So in other words, the maximum glory on the earth will be by Trump's birthday. Historic glory the next 40 days starting today. Isaiah says, the year of the Lord's favor We're in it. And the day of vengeance. The day of vengeance is Joel 2:31.
Wow.
The great and the terrible day.
Yep.
And that great and terrible day, I believe, is in the next 40 days. Possibly the next 10. But it's in this next 40-day window, probably the next 10 days. It all begins now, January 14th, 2026, which is New Year's Day on the Julian calendar.
The year of the Lord's favor that we're in right now, the triggering time point is Purim. We could see something even happen here on the 24th next week, the starting point maybe of February, but mathematically, Purim is critical. This day could be very important. If I were you, anybody listening, I would avoid traveling anytime between starting possibly March 9th through the 19th. By March 19th, I believe we would have seen and could have seen something epic. God is going to remove the problems of the earth, the demonic entities, the Nephilim spirit off the face of this earth between today and the 4th of July. It appears it's going to be a triggering event in the month of March.
You're certain of this? You feel like this is it?
It's going to go down this year before 4th of July. The calculations are indicating anytime after March 3rd, because now we've got the blood moon. March 9th is important, I believe.
This stuff's going to happen before July 4th, right?
Absolutely. It has to. And I believe this May, we might even see Trump getting baptized.
When
God
is
and his
Trump getting
prophet
baptized?
could be this May.
I don't know, and nobody knows the time of day. I know
But that's not
you're
true.
talking about Steve Hanks.
If I'm off by 6 months or a year, that's better off to be off by 6 months to be 1,000% right than be steering people completely in the wrong direction. God is a God of truth, and he's not a man that he can lie. The devil is a liar, and he's going to use people to push out lies. All I'm telling you is that we are condensing time right now. Okay, time is speeding up, and if we look at it, we're almost at Purim. Purim ties in with what we started, with a flipping of the scales.
So we're going to come into a scary time where it's going to feel like we're going to lose.
Right. Yes. It's going to get worse and worse. And then the great and terrible day hits. Now, here's the thing about the great and terrible day. I'm just telling you, I'm going to repeat the prophecy. It's going to be a 24-hour window. This is not my opinion. It's what God spoke through Carolyn. It's going to be 24 hours from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. So when you know it's starting, you see things happening, people, and this is literally, when I said millions, are going to disappear. This is in scripture. It's Psalms 37:10 through 13. It says, in a little while, the wicked will be no more. That means there's no bodies. They're gone. They just disappear. This is prophecy. So millions in Hollywood, Washington, around the world, and these are globalists that are like Pharaoh that refused to turn from their wicked ways. These people will not stop. There's millions of them around the world that have what's called a global handshake, and they all work for a fallen angel. They all work for the devil. So when God intervenes, Nino, what's he specifically going to do? He's going to stop these demonic entities and just poof, remove them off the face of the earth. Now, there's going to be people that are involved in this, poof, disappear. They're flying a jet. They're flying a plane. That plane's going to crash. There's going to be planes that are going to just nosedive and plunge. So on that day, globally, they're going to shut down the entire airspace around the world. Every single airport is going to shut down every single flight. When it begins to happen, the entire airspace around the world is going to get shut down. And then some are driving cars. So you're going to have gridlock all around the globe because there's cars that are just locking up all the roads. That's what's coming. And so when it happens, stay put. Between March 9th and May 24th, 2026, expect historic things to shift and the world to change. March 19th is incredibly important, on or about, but we're not going to make it past Resurrection, which this year specifically, Resurrection is the first week of April. Resurrection Sunday is precisely the 5th of April, which is when complete victory happens with Jesus and his resurrection. Today, I want to discuss an extremely important topic about what's about to happen this month, okay? Lord has spoken through numerous prophets about what is coming called the great and the terrible day. We are at a moment in time which has been spoken of by several prophets, and is specifically called the great and the terrible day. Telling you, we're here. This is about to go down. There are specific instructions the Lord gave. When this event starts, stay put for 24 hours. Wherever you are, stay put. I'm just repeating instructions from the Lord. Number 2 is, I would highly recommend this month of June, from this day onwards. Okay, today is June 5th. So from June 5th onwards, before you leave the house, say a quick prayer. Close your eyes and ask the Holy Spirit if it's okay to go. I'm telling you, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. We're here. So I'm just telling you, if you are somewhere when this event begins, you're not going to miss it when it happens. Specifically, stay put for 24 hours. That's instructions from the Lord when it begins. He says you might even want to stay another day, 48 hours. But regardless, a minimum of 24 hours from the moment it starts, because it will be exactly 24 hours from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. Those of you who think this is nonsense, understand that when you study history, the Bible is very clear, Ecclesiastes, that which has been will be again. There is nothing new under the sun. What does that mean? It means that if you study Exodus, Israel departed Egypt after the angel of death. And when they left Egypt, what did they leave with? The gold and the silver. So those of you who are waiting for a wealth transfer, you're never going to see a wealth transfer without an angel of death moment first. God is removing the evil off of this earth, specifically, not all of it, okay, not all of it, but the Nephilim spirit possessed people are about to be removed off the face of this earth. The month of June. The month of June is a delineating time point. There's a moment this month. I'm not allowed to reveal the date. Okay, this is what I want to explain too. The Lord has specifically not let anybody know the day that this is going to go down until a critical event happened. And that was Trump rededicating America to God. Now that Trump has rededicated America to God, the Lord has revealed a whole bunch more of his timing here, because no matter what the devil does now, he can't stop God, because God now has legal authority by the President of America, of the United States, to come in to America. This is critical, okay? So that was the essence. Nothing could stop that event. And so the Lord continued to not reveal the precise date of when this would go down until after Trump rededicated America. That moment of Trump rededicating America to God now allows God to come into America and what? Cause the wealth transfer, cause the health transfer, remove the evil off of this earth, change the trajectory, and step us into the greatest time in human history. That's what's about to happen. June, very important, is the delineating month of the darkness coming to an end and the light coming upon America as we step into the 4th of July. This is the Isaiah 61, which is the year of the Lord's favor. And in that year, there's a day of vengeance. Now, when does the day happen? Starting March 19th onwards. We did podcasts in March saying, we're here. This is it. Why? Because we entered spring. Everybody, when does nature, when do animals, when do flowers bloom? When does everything start? In spring. Today is the 5th of June. Summer begins on the 21st. So there's very little time left
And I'm not saying it's going to happen on the 21st. I'm saying between today and the 21st. I will reveal the mathematical calculation for the great and terrible day, but not until after. All I'm allowed to say right now is it happens in June. You'll see why the mathematical calculations were perfect, but I'm not allowed to reveal any more than just saying June. So the event's going down in June, in spring, very important, in spring, in June, and that allows the world to step in to the greatest time in history, this 4th of July, with worldwide celebrations. So the Day of Vengeance in Isaiah 61 happens in spring 2026. And specifically, he's now revealed it's in the month of June. God has now revealed that the Day of Vengeance is in June.
What's about to happen is America is about to give birth, and this is the crazy part, before the 4th of July. God's about to move immediately and imminently, and he has, and why I say this, because he revealed to me very clearly that Isaiah 61 started last 4th of July when the water broke in Kerrville, Texas. So that starts the year of the Lord's favor, and all that's left is the Day of Vengeance. So the Day of Vengeance now is scheduled by God, from what he showed me, to happen before the 3rd of July. Right before America gives birth, you're going to start seeing massive earthquakes. What did you see in Venezuela yesterday? What happened to the Ring of Fire? Okay, 100,000 people, or whatever the numbers are, they're hiding everything, but massive amounts of deaths are starting to happen. And here's the part, we haven't seen the great and terrible day yet. The great and terrible day is imminent. It's about to happen, and it's prophesied that millions will die. Not that I want this to happen. This is God's plan, not mine. But when America gives birth, when the earth gives birth, particularly America, you're going to have Haggai 2 be fulfilled. Haggai 2, verse 6, it says, I will once again shake the heavens and the earth, the sea and the dry land. I will shake all nations. Haggai 2, verse 6, 7, and then it continues, I will fill this house with glory. So if you want to know what's about to happen, read Haggai 2, verse 6. That's what's about to happen before the 4th of July. We're going to see the shaking of all shakings the world's never seen before. I don't know what all this means. Okay, none of us know what God's about to do. But he stated through several prophets, one of which the earth is going to stop for a second, then it's going to get going again, but this is going to cause mass plates to shift. It's going to be the shaking like the world's never seen. He's calling us the greatest time in human history, and it will be the move that God's been planning for thousands of years. We are going to see the greatest move of God's Spirit ever in the history of the world. I believe it's supposed to happen before the 3rd of July because we're supposed to be in the 4th of July, the greatest celebration in human history, which means God moved. I grew up at the 4th of July, so we all have. But this one's supposed to be different than all because it's going to be the greatest ever and the worst ever for many people, right? Because when God moves, right, it's going to be devastation. It's going to be a shift. It'll be a time point that we're going to look back at it. You know, we're going to look at the world up to and then after.